Welcome everyone to another episode of the Love Island cast. I am Chris Phelps and my co-host is Mr. Dave Horrocks.
Hey there, Chris. It's great to be back, and I have to say I heard yesterday's episode. It was absolutely fantastic and not jealous at all, but I'm just gonna come and sit on you here. It's all just totally natural. It's just two blokes recording with me sat on you. So what did you make to tonight's episode then?
Dave, we are coming in the hottest we've ever been watching this show. What the fuck have we just watched? I was gunning for Yewande big time, and Amy's even trumped her. So Dave, let's start with Yewande. What the hell is going on with that girl?
I don't know. I mean, it is so amusing. I mean, I guess, again, I've come in, haven't I, as the show's cynic and just been bought into it hook, line and sinker. But, I mean, she just seems a whole big bag of crazy, doesn't she?
Yeah, I don't even think it's... All right, it's partly jealousy. I get that. You know, I understand that. You're in that environment. It's obviously pressure cooker. We've seen it. You know, you've watched now 13, 14 episodes of this programme, Dave. You know, I get it. But what the fuck is going on? I was watching it, getting more and more annoyed, thinking Danny's not done anything. Yeah, he had a bit of a flirt when he woke up and then he was sat on that bed with Maura and Arabella. But... it didn't do anything, and it's not guy code. It's not me sticking up with a guy. I just don't get it. She's an absolute head the ball. I'm being really honest.
She does seem like that. You know what it reminded me of? Have you seen the latest Jumanji with The Rock and stuff?
Yep.
And then there's the ginger girl who was out like Doctor Who, and she was in the Avengers as Nebula as well, and she's playing this character. She's this super sexy lady, so she's got this super sexy lady body, and she's trying to act it, and she's just totally getting it all wrong. And like I say, that whole thing where, you know, she's feeling threatened and she's being advised by her friends that, you know, go and show more affection. So she goes and sits on someone in the most uncomfortable way possible. And, you know, she's just got it all wrong for me.
Dave, she got it wrong. Fucking disgraceful. I've never seen something so cringeworthy in my life. I get she's insecure and everything, but fuck it. I know I'm going to swear a lot tonight, guys. I apologise, but fucking hell. It was horrendous. Not only was it cringeworthy, it was also bad manners. It's like, why would you go and do that? That was almost at the level of like it was probably worse than what the girls did when they were catcalling, when Michael and when Maura come in. It was absolutely ridiculous. And I think that's just probably an age thing, Dave. And I'm not saying, you know, that I'd be very happy if some bloke's putting it on my missus or anything if you were in a stable relationship. Well, they're not in a stable relationship. They're in a fake love triangle in Love Island. It was just like, oh, kiss my fucking ass again. I was just like, this is nonsense. Absolutely ridiculous. And she's not coming out of it well at all. She really isn't. I think the more I try and empathise with her and think, look, she's been stung a lot. She does something that just... It's just not right. I mean, cut Arabella off a few times when she seemed to be quite reasonable with her. And Danny, I think Danny just needs to get out of there. They're obviously just not compatible. And the fact that she stood up and said, I better go and give him 3 minutes of attention was like, that is just game playing of the highest order for me.
There is something just not right with her, is there? And I feel sorry for Danny in as much as he's got two beautiful women fighting over him. So I can't feel that sorry for him. But she's making an aggressive play, but I think she's just going to drive Danny away. And I think I'm looking at this episode tonight and I'm thinking, Arabella, I'm not sure what she's doing wrong there. I mean, other than, you know, she's in there. She's designed to go in there and step on toes. So Yewande is probably a bit put out. We'll get on to Anton in a bit. Because he's just there offering his great advice again. It's like, just stop giving everyone great advice. Just get yourself in there. No, Danny, he's been playing it both ways or something like that. Just fucking have a go, Anton. Stop giving everyone great advice. But no, I think Danny's in a very, very awkward position. He thought he had a connection with Yewande. You should not have to work this hard so early in a relationship. So for me, the couples voted for who was least compatible. I think if this was the vote now, I mean, you'd be hard pushed to think of a more incompatible couple, wouldn't you?
Exactly. Completely and utterly agree. I think they're just not compatible. And I'm hoping for her sake that things turn around for her and she actually, sort of gets with somebody and the real Yewande comes out. But they're just not a match. And I think it's more a match of convenience just to keep them in the house. And I'm not saying that Danny isn't completely blameless. I'm not. I think obviously his head's been turned pretty quick after the fact that she laid it on him with a kiss the night before. But again, Dave, it's just game playing 101. And I've got to say, there is another game going on at the moment, Dave, in the house. Did you see that?
Which game was that?
Where the fuck is Tom? It's not Where's Wally, it's Where's Tom. Yeah. Could he not have edited someone else?
He did say a little bit, but if his role from the producers was to cause a stir, it's been more of a light ripple, hasn't it? So he's just got nothing about him. I mean, he's got this glorious chin, but that seems to be all there is about him. He does throw the occasional comment in there, which is quite funny, but he's gone, isn't he? He's not going to be there for long.
It reminds me of Dave Winston out of EastEnders. He's been on there for 30 years. He's probably got 3 lines, but he's always in the background. They've absolutely Winstoned him out of the show, haven't they? He's gone from being this little love interest of Maura. Once she said, Maura, I'm not feeling it, there's something missing, they've just completely friend-zoned him out the whole show, haven't they? He's just like the guy in the background. Nobody knows who he is. I mean, he's probably doing other things in the show and it'll probably come out after he's left, but my word, are they definitely making sure he definitely goes on the recoupling.
So I'm going to empathise with the producers here, though, or the editors. It's less the producers, more the editors, isn't it? So they take, a few days probably sometimes of footage and they try and condense it all down to, this 1 hour. And they try and tell a story within the hour. And sometimes, up until this point, people were moaning about Yewande not being on screen. And it's because she wasn't doing anything. But now she's letting her guard down and all the crazy is starting to spill out. Well, that deserves more screen time. I think Tom's probably he's probably a bit lost, isn't he? He came in, he thought he was the Fonz because, suddenly he's showing an interest in Elma and in Maura and he thinks, hey, this game's a bit easy, this, isn't it? But I think he's not as forthright, is he, as Maura? So, she's intimidated him. She's not interested anymore. So, he's probably just not that interesting to be on screen.
No, and I think the Happy Days analogy is quite a good one. I'd say he's more Ralph Malph than he is Fonzarelli, to be honest. And that is a real bad throwback for anyone out there who's never watched Happy Days, so please apologise. But also, Dave, not only was I fizzing with Yewande, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, it's bubbling up nicely, we're really going to lay into her and what's going on with Danny. Oh my word. Then we get this kissing game, and good old I'm everyone's friend, Mr. Advice, Tony Robbins in the making, Curtis, drops an absolute bollock of the highest order and doesn't rate his missus' kiss as good as Arabella's, and he gives her a 10. And he's ringed, and I've got to say, Dave, your impression of Curtis, I've been listening back to some of the podcasts, have been absolutely brilliant. But I'm going to have a go myself because he said to me after the kiss, and everyone's like, oh, and all the lads in the levels all went, don't think that was her, Curtis. And he's there.
But again, it's Anton. He's like, everyone needs a friend like Anton because he tells you how it is, and he's just like, no, don't think that's who you think it is.
Yep.
I've got to tell you, Chris, my stomach was sore from laughing at that bit.
Honestly, I was pissing myself, and genuinely, I had my pillar up to my face like this because Sam's been out tonight, and I'm sat there like this on my own, absolutely cringing, going, "Oh no, you've dropped a." But I've got to say, and I know we have our little WhatsApp group going between me, you, and Asa, and that, and I genuinely agree with a comment you said, if you don't mind me saying, and I agree with this completely. I think Amy is more controlling than Joe, and I think you suggested that, and I completely agree with it. So I'm not stealing your thunder. I totally agree. I think Amy is manipulative, and the way she reacted after what had happened, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I'd be too happy about seeing my missus getting off with someone else or anything, but obviously it's within the confines of the game. That it's a show, isn't it? So I get that. I don't think anybody's going to be happy seeing your missus or your boyfriend or whoever going for it with someone else right in front of you, not unless you're into that sort of thing, obviously. But but the way she reacted was typical Amy, wasn't it? She went off like a little child, and she did sort of call herself out and say, look, I just need to sort of, because Amber said, well, what you thinking about? I got called a 5, didn't she, for kissing? Amber got rated right down.
Oh, we'll get back to that.
Yeah, we'll get back to that. Anna was a 10, but genuinely, the way she manipulates Curtis, and then when he was apologising to her after the thing and they went on this date, I was at the screen going, for fuck's sake, what are you fucking apologising for, you idiot? He's like, I must admit, I'm sort of warming to him, even though I've really called him out since he's playing a game. I don't understand him. But then when I see stuff like that, I'm like, no, you are going, and please say what you said to me. And I totally agree what you said.
Well, I'm still waiting for your Curtis impression, by the way. Let's not forget that. But I mean, I will say, so what I'd said, essentially, the bullying that I felt the girls did on Lucy was a lot worse than what Joe was getting pelters for. And I did see on Twitter, like Women's Aid Twitter had put out there about, well done to all the people who'd called out Joe's controlling behaviour and spotted the early warning signs. And I thought, and I know we're a light-hearted podcast, but I thought, oh, fuck off. There's nothing that I saw there which suggests to me that he's going to be sticking her in the basement. And we've laughed and we've tweeted out things, but come on. For me, the bullying that the girls did was way worse than what Joe did. And I think, again, Amy, you can see those warning signs. I was the same as you. I was like, Curtis, what are you apologising for? And this is the second time it's happened, hasn't it? Oh. She went off on one the other week, and he was like, oh, I said the wrong things. No, he didn't. He just called out her bullshit, and she didn't like it. And so that for me is just, again, it just reinforces what I think about Amy.
Did you? I was laughing that day. It was when Curtis is apologising to, and he gets up, and I thought he was going to get on one knee, and he went, "Do you want to dance?" It's just like,
oh, was that the impression? Was it? Or have you got another one?
I've got another one.
Go on. So come on. Right, you built it up now. I've got my popcorn here. I've climbed off your knee. Well, I'm waiting.
I think your accent's pretty similar to his, to be fair, but I'm gonna have a go at it anyway, Dave. Amy, I just want to apologise for what I've done. I've put you in a situation, and this is the worst impression ever, Dave. I'm just going to stop it right there. It was terrible. It's terrible.
It sounds more like Jordan. It's sick, that accent. It's mint stuff.
I don't even know why I'm putting that accent on, because I sound like that. When he was apologising to, and I was like, oh, don't fucking apologise. And you said it on the messages. You said he's going to forever apologise to her for stuff he's not even done. And it's like, you're right. He's like, come on. And he's sort of apologising. And look, I know it's his missus, and he's saying, you're my queen, you're a supermodel. That's great. No problem with that at all. Give the girl a bit of confidence. But she's manipulated that situation to her complete advantage. And I actually think in her head, she believes that they're like Danny and Jack from last year, Dave. Because obviously they don't know the public's perception. There will be at some point in the next week or so, a couple of weeks, a sort of either live feed or what they'll do in the house is they'll replay some of the tweets from people, on social media. I don't think they're going to replay any of our tweets, Dave, but I'm sure that they get people calling people out. So if they say Amy's controlling Curtis, or Curtis needs to drop her, or Danny needs to drop Yewande, or Yewande needs to drop Danny, then they'll play him to him, and then it gets everyone talking. What's going on here? I thought, because I honestly think she thinks that they're the top couple in there, the top dog sort of thing. And I actually think now more than ever it's Michael and Amber, to be honest.
Oh, there's no contest for me. I mean, they are so far out in front. But I would say that ultimately, Amy, you're a 7.
He said to him, didn't he? He went, I'm going to do it again. This is
go on.
He goes, the reason...
Go on. This is even better. Go on.
The reason I picked you is because when we first kissed, our teeth touched together. She went, yeah, but I stroked your neck. He went, you don't? But I do. He went, no, you don't. How am I supposed to know that? Like, no.
Dear me. He's going to be apologising for at least the divorce. So.
Yeah, and I must admit, though, one thing that Love Island has taught me, and we've got Tommy and Curtis doing this, Dave, is I used to have a proper... When I got engaged to Sam in 98, when I was a young 20-year-old whippersnapper, I actually had a Danny Zuko leather jacket, and I'm gutted now. I got rid of it a couple of years ago. They obviously are coming back because Curtis has had one on, and Tommy has as well.
Yeah, well, probably pull it off a bit better than us right now, though, to be fair, though. I'm just putting it out there.
We'll look like Davy Brent, won't we, when he goes... Trying to look cool, but we fucking don't. Yeah.
With the old Sergio Tacchini.
Tacchini, the old classic, yeah.
But I tell you what, though, Curtis, he makes out like he knows it all, doesn't he? And I can't remember what, but send out that many tweets, and I'm trying to WhatsApp, I'm trying to tweet, I'm trying to watch the thing. I was like, be the clock. When he's furiously backpedaling there, it's like, be the clock, Curtis. Yeah, but I tell you what, everyone knows what the fetal position is, don't they?
No, he doesn't.
It's definitely not what Curtis thinks it is.
No, well, Tommy asked Molly Mays.
And I thought that was taking a chance there, wasn't it? Is that really?
Yeah,
Tommy, categorically, why are you asking that?
Especially after last night with Tommy and his toys, the old jackhammer there, you know what I mean? But nothing, it was quite downplayed, that though, wasn't it? It was pretty much downplayed. It was a little.
Well, you don't have to upplay that one, do you? I mean, it was that awkward conversation between the two of them. It's like, can't possibly say, but I'm going to kind of say. But like you say, asking Molly May, what's the fetal position? Why are you asking?
So that's how the conversation's going to go. He's 560 returns, Dave. There's all sorts going to go on there.
Well, I think that tells us one thing. I mean, his head is probably not going to get turned in the next week, at least, is it?
Not at all, Dave. Not at all. Unless an ex-girlfriend comes in there or something like that, and obviously, we move from the Amy stuff, Dave, and it ends up back with Yewande, Arabella and Danny. And I've seen online, to be fair, reaction-wise, a lot of people have turned on Arabella because they're saying that she came over to her, told her straight. She was having none of it, was she? She's very, very child, isn't she, really, to be honest? And
yeah.
She reacted quite badly, I thought, with Arabella.
I think Danny was a bit surprised that, she told Yewande some of the stuff about the private conversations they'd been having about, Danny was saying there was a connection there. She'd wanted to they want to get to know each other better. I don't really see what Arabella's done wrong. She's on Love Island, for fuck's sake. She's not on, it's not a normal scenario. No, so, she said a line in there that, what was it now? She's not going to couple up with someone just because they're single. Anton's like, over here, for fuck's sake.
It but the thing was, I love that line by Danny. I've got to say, I really, really like it when they were sat there, him and Anton's obviously can see it, and they can't, and they're whispering, and she goes, doesn't she, Yewande, I am fucking fuming, and all this, and she's trying not to shout, and obviously there's a little splinter groups of the girls now, isn't there? So you had Amber, Yewande, and Molly, and then sat down, you've obviously got Maura, Amy, and Arabella, and they're talking, and she did do a bit of a move on Yewande, to be fair. She sort of said she wasn't going to do anything, she liked him, blah, blah, blah. Then she just went, Danny, come in. But Danny did, when he was kicking off, Danny went, I think we'll just sit here, Anton? Yeah. The old classic bloke line, to say, I'm not getting involved in this shit, but there was just too many things going on, which I'd said to you just before we'd even watched it, and we'd seen the preview, hadn't we, earlier today, and you had said, this is where it goes off for me, this is where I love it, where it just, and look, I don't agree with like bullying or anything like that, because it's a fine line with something like this. It really is. Look what's happened to Joe. And I would say, is it just clever editing? Like Yewande getting up saying 3 minutes, I'm going to give you 3 minutes of sort of attention or whatever. That might be a joke. That's been running, Dave, between them, Yewande and Danny. It could be anything, but we're not seeing that, because I saw something where he was advertising the unseen for tomorrow, and there's a conversation, I don't know if it was last week or whatever, and it's between Tommy and Amy when they were getting close, and they said to her about where they live, and he went, well, I live Manchester, and she went, where do you live? And she obviously lives down south or wherever she lives, and he went, well, maybe we should move somewhere in the middle, and she went, yeah, Scotland. I was just like, what the fuck? But we don't see any of that. We just don't, because it's on the unseen stuff. I don't know whether that's already been on the unseen, because I don't remember it from last week. It just made me laugh, because I'm thinking, I said the unseen stuff's got some proper one-liners in there. And
I think, let's face it. I mean, you and I say some daft things, don't we? Like, fucking Mr. Prawn Cracker.
Look, just fuck off, everyone, all right? I don't want to know. I'm getting it everywhere, Prawn Cracker.
But, I was kicking myself. I didn't call out Tommy the other day for putting bloody milk in his green tea.
I know. What is he doing? An athlete specimen, and he does that.
He clearly just absolutely gets taken care of, doesn't he? Yeah. He just has no clue, and it's like, fair enough. Okay, you don't know how to make a Sunday roast. That's okay, but make yourself a fucking cup of tea, for fuck's sake.
Yeah. Some sort of independence. You should have a nightmare when he gets married to somebody, I'll tell you. But no, again, Dave, fantastic episode. And I've had a few people comment, Mr. Horrocks. Again, I did mention it in the last episode. I know you weren't on and you dropped us a voice, but regarding your smooth radio voice, another listener, Bev, has mentioned it, Dave. And
said, right. Am I also a good cure for insomnia for Bev as well?
Well, she actually said, no, her words were, I'll tell you what, that Dave has got such a good radio voice. And she was bigging you up, and I was like, hang on a minute. Come on, where anything for the Mancunian lad here, the down-to-earth Mancunian lad from Old Trafford. Not a fucking dicky bird. Yeah, you're good, Chris, but Dave's really good. He's slick. Dead sweet. It's like he's done it for years, and I'm thinking,
I'm waiting for the punchline here.
No, this went on for like 10 minutes. She's been watched all our episodes, and I can't thank Bev again, like my mate from work and that. And we've got an array of people in our social circle listening to this, as well as around the world. We want to thank everybody who's been downloading the show, as I keep mentioning. But she did say at the end, Dave, and she went, I'm telling you now, she said, the one thing I'd say about Dave, she said, he could send a little baby to sleep with that voice. It's so soothing, but not in a bad way. He said you could listen to him talk for hours, and I was thinking, oh, come on. So I'm giving you that compliment. Seems like everyone's been taking a piss at my prawn crack. Yes, so thank you, Bev, out there. And if you do want to contact the show and tell us how fantastic Dave's voice is, I want to get a look myself. At Twitter, we are on @LoveIslandCast. And if you want to email the show, it's the loveislandcast@gmail.com. And if you do want to drop in there about my silky Mancunian accent, then please do. Share the love, everyone, not just for Dave. Dave, great episode. And thank you again. And we know Mr. Asa Caton, the special on-off guest, he's chomping at the bit to get on again after tonight's episode because he hasn't watched it yet, but he's seen what we've been saying and we've pretty much ruined it for him in our WhatsApp group. So sorry, Asa. And we'll be back tomorrow. So have you got anything we could lead us out with tonight, Dave?
Well, this has been a bit of an uncomfortable episode, hasn't it? Ultimately, me sat on your lap. And I was going to say, is that a gun in your pocket or are you happy to see me?
Now we are taking a route. We'll see you next time.